Here are the weirdest bodies of UFC fighters, starting with missing half of a chest. Telemann lost his pectoral muscle due to a car accident as a toddler. This also affected his right lung and ability to breathe. Despite significant challenges, he remained a badass.
Back then we had big balls.
Against all odds, Telemann remained an elite striker of his time. In a moment, we will reveal a fighter who fought with just one arm. If you have the longest reach in the world, you can destroy opponents at will.
Ready to go, big head kick in right hand, that's gonna do it.
6'7" Rob Despain used to demolish fighters outside UFC in a matter of seconds.
Good lord! Oh, that's it!
And he's doing an 87 inches reach is an absolute game changer. That's longer than John Jones. And his 260 pounds of pure muscle are insane.
Don't think he's a villain, he's actually a nice guy.
He got really emotional and he even felt like he wanted to cry when he...
On the other hand, 63 inches is the shortest reach ever recorded.
Despite this small disadvantage, Ray Borg competes against the top fighters in the bantamweight division. Yes, Borg is the guy who fell victim to Mighty Mouse's iconic move.
Suplex to armbar in the air.
Mutual respect.
I've fucking watched Demetrius Johnson since I was like 13 years old.
We will talk about Mighty Mouse in a moment, but now let's talk about the one-armed fighter.
Nick Neville was born this way, yet he fought his destiny and accomplished 16 professional wins. The majority of his victories are by submission, but he's also capable of delivering ground and pound, spinning elbows, and beautiful stand-up techniques. Neville fought Gaethje and had some bright moments. He even made it into the DYCC, marking a fabulous MMA career.
Physically, I'm fine. Emotionally, it hurts, you know.
Yet never made it really to the UFC, probably because of Dana.
I don't want to see him get hurt. Nobody does. That would be bad for everybody.
In fact, the shortest reach ever has Nick Neville. Just 60 inches, but I hope you understand it wouldn't be fair to count in.
Fighting with one arm is hard as hell, but there is also a guy who fought with just one eye.
More about Michael Bisping in a moment. Now, small break and it's time for a bonus. Since 100% of you are male,
let's highlight the biggest and roundest booty. Elise Erdelin made the statement, "I've got the roundest bum in MMA and I am just one win away from cracking the UFC." And she made it to the UFC.
And I'm just wondering if I got influenced.
Is it the best in the UFC? What are your thoughts?
Some guys prefer a focus on the chest. So here's Paige VanZant with her enhanced breasts. This girl has bigger boobs than her UFC career. 8 years ago, PVZ was single.
My love life, I'm very single.
Now, Paige is here for the entire internet. That's quite interesting journey in 8 years.
Yet it's not the biggest chest in the game. Do not forget Manny Yarbo, the heaviest living athlete. He weighted almost 700 pounds. That's like 5.6 of Mighty Mouse Johnson's. On the other side of the spectrum, Yoel Romero boasts a godlike physique. Some people suspect he might be using roids.
You know how much pay you need to pay for the steroids?
Right.
Come on, man.
That's probably the best argument ever.
When the UFC published his public workout, my jaw dropped. He's arguably one of the most athletic fighters out there. Plus, his ability to absorb high kicks like they are...
There's a picture of Costa kicking him in the head where it looks like his soul is leaving his body. That shin is wrapping around his head. His whole head is distorted. What in the fuck, dude?
Additionally, Joe Rogan shared unbelievable story.
And he had a fractured orbital, and they brought him to the doctor. So he gets examined, and then the doctor calls the UFC, goes, "Where did you get this guy?" And they go, "He's a fucking specimen. I've been a doctor for 50 years. I've never seen someone like him. The tendons in his eyes are 3 times larger than a normal person." He said the orbital fracture, it's already healing.
UFC is not only for insanely jacked dudes. There's skinny Sean Woodson, who weighs only 145 pounds, almost giving the impression of malnutrition. Despite his unusual physique, his record is nearly immaculate, with just...
And it's no surprise, given his 78 inches reach, which is insane for his weight class.
Woodson is like a legitimate spider with incredibly long legs. It's a weird body type, but he wasn't always this way.
did your homework. Yeah, started my kickboxing career at heavyweight. I always trained hard, but I used to just eat like crap all the time. But yeah, it was really the diet that did it for me.
The next fighter is also skinny, yet he stands an incredible 7 feet and almost unreal height. Steven Struve is one of the tallest people on earth, just 1 inch shorter than Shaq O'Neal in comparison small. With such a giant frame come challenges.
I was born with a heart defect and that'll be here for the rest of my life.
Struve gained significant attention when he faced Stipe Miocic.
And I think I'm the guy that's good enough to beat him, so I'm pretty sure I am.
Let's stay with the Giants for a while. Do you know what caused the nickname Bigfoot?
During a pre-fight medical exam, Silva was found with a specific brain condition called acromegaly,
a hormonal disorder when too much growth hormone is produced, leading to the enlargement of hands, feet and face. The survival rate is only 35%, which made Silva extremely lucky.
I'm a Brazilian. I never give up.
Surgeons removed the cancer, yet after a KO loss to Andrei Arlovsky, the tumor re-emerged and Silva had to undergo another surgery.
Nowadays it seems like Bigfoot Silva is getting KO'd on a daily basis. I just hope his health will remain okay. We have mentioned small fighters, so here's the smallest UFC fighter of all time. His name is Hector Sandoval.
Competing in the flyweight division at just 5 feet 2. He looks like half the size of Steven Struve and is probably one of the few who makes Henry Cejudo look big. Enough jokes. Sandoval's UFC career wasn't particularly successful, with a record of 2 wins and 2 losses, including a KO defeat in just 14 seconds.
Now let's move on to promised Mighty Mouse Johnson.
A Hall of Famer whom the UFC has seemingly tried to overshadow, standing just 1 inch taller than the smallest UFC fighter of all time and being the lightest on the scale.
I honestly think I'm probably one of the smallest guys in the flyweight division.
Yet he still makes an incredible impact. He delivers performances we have never seen before, including the famous mousetrap move and extraordinary striking combinations.
If you have ever wondered what makes the GOAT so special, here's the answer from Mighty Mouse Philosophy.
Everybody's so worried about winning and losing. Why?
Because you're gonna die someday.
You're gonna die someday.
Right.
So why the fuck do you worry about winning and losing? Are you having fun? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Now the guy with 1 eye.
You know what I'm saying?
Medical exams.
How did you pass this test?
With great difficulty. Lying, cheating, bullshit codes. I fucking lied to so many doctors.
Despite having just 1 eye, Bisping managed to win a UFC belt and participate in a super fight against GSP without the doctors noticing. Nowadays, he's a successful UFC commentator and YouTuber, though sometimes he forgets the camera is still on.
What a guy. That's fucking gay.
The last fighter faced Bisping in a close and controversial split decision. His name is Matt Hamill, who's unique for his deafness. Unfortunately, he wouldn't have been able to hear the TikTok motivational advice from Leon Edwards' corner.
Go on win this last round. You gotta stop him, Leon. You've gotta stop him to you've gotta throw it all at him. Come on, son. Come on, Leon, man.